A very happy Monday, everyone. It's been a really long time since I uploaded anything. My apologies. It has been a crazy few weeks for me with my work and submitting my projects and getting things started for 2019. It has been hectic, but I've been very grateful that everything has been submitted to the correct deadline. So it has been great, and finally I've had have some free time and probably getting into the holiday mode and Christmas spirit like everyone here. I hope so. um so for today, I want to talk to you guys about detachment. This particular word is something I did not think I would be applying uh, to my life, because I've always been a very emotional person, meaning when I get to know someone, I like to get to know them on a emotional level and connect to them in that such a way. And if I get close to them, I get clingy. So I've been like this for since I can remember. And as much as some of my friends have stayed by me with me being this way, there are people who take advantage of me being an emotional person, or me being clingy, or being attached too much. I realize that there is a huge disadvantage of being a very attached person, and through many hassles and many um, how you say situations when I had to had to break it off with my friends, or hard situations in life where I learned who I really am as a person, and how I should behave, and or I won't say behave, but how I should um, grow as a person. I believe that we constantly change, because change is what makes us a better person. So the latest element that I have brought into my life that has made me a lot stronger is detachment. And this applies even to your family, not only your friends. But so basically, let me give you guys a brief meaning to what I mean by detachment. All of us are here in this world doing what we want to do, right? And we don't want people to dictate what we should do and how we should do it, especially if you're passionate about something. You do not want anyone to tell you that what is right and what is wrong, right? So my initial stages of being detached was not allowing someone to tell me, okay, listen, like Avina, you're in a wheelchair, so you've been physically challenged all your life, probably you should take it a notch down. Or if they tell me that I'm being very uptight or very protective of myself, because when I used to hear all these comments, I used to want to change, because I used to get very easily influenced by the people around me that I care the most. And that definitely just messed me up in so many levels. And I realized that's not good for me. So my first stage of detachment was whether family or friends. I stopped getting them to tell me what I should do or what I should achieve for myself, because I wanted to call those shots. I wanted to experiment on what was good and bad on my own, and go through the bumpy roads basically. So that was my first stage of detachment. And then came about opinions, how sometimes I do not uh, agree to everything my family or friends say, and I used to keep quiet about my opinions because I didn't believe in my opinions as much. I didn't think that it was good enough for the people around me to hear, and so I kept it to myself. And when I started to I came to a point where I started feeling very strong within, I started telling my opinions. and there were a lot of people who were against it, who felt like I was doing or I was saying something that was not ethical, or it wasn't right at the situation. And even that messed me up a bit because I did not know where I stood. And so that was my second stage of detachment. I did not care what people thought of my way of looking at life and my opinions and my perspective. I think everyone has their own way of looking at things. So that was definitely my second stage. And lastly, my third stage would be for my own well-being. You know, the toughest thing that I had to come to an agreement with for myself is knowing that my flaws, being physically challenged all my life, having vitiligo basically all over my body, that definitely is, I know for a fact, not norm to my society, and it does take time for people to accept that. But I came to a point that I've stopped being bothered of whether I'm being accepted, but rather just enjoy my differences. I've never believed in flaws. My parents have always preached that everyone is different, and therefore I like to be called differently able rather than a disabled person. So these are the three elements that I've had so far, and that has allowed me to be detached. So if someone does hurt me or things don't go the way I want it to, I find myself at a very peaceful, you know, mental space. I don't get too emotional. I don't get angry. I don't get frustrated with that person. I just move on. I you know I feel I feel for that moment, and then I brush it off, and I you know go ahead with life. I don't allow it to dwell, because I used to do that. I used to get so intensely emotional when things don't go my way that it will hurt me physically as well. So detachment teaches you to call your own shots, to make yourself feel happy, because I believe that not people can make you happy, but you yourself. You decide when you want to be happy. You decide for your own well-being, when it comes to sensitive situations, when it comes to career, when it comes to marriage, relationships. you know I'm 24 years old, and I have been craving for wanting to be in a relationship because I've never been in one. But I realize that's not how it goes. It's a process, it's a journey for a man to look at me and accept me for my differences. So even that's a detachment in one way. I feel like when a guy does not treat me well, those days, a couple of years ago, I would have, gone all over, like, emotionally messed up, crying my eyeballs out. But now, no, I do not do that. When a guy mistreats me, I make sure that uh, I protect myself in the process. And I believe that I've been called names. I do not want to say it here, for being that way, for basically being uptight and being reserved. But I think it's good because I'm protecting myself, I'm protecting my energy, and I am choosy to who is beside me, because I believe that um, it's very important that you always know what's I won't say always know, but you're always in control of what happens to you, what you feel, what you understand. Those things are what you have control of, and that's the most powerful thing that all of us have, which a lot of us take it for granted. We still somehow allow a lot of people around us to make the shots, make the decisions for us. But that immediately, definitely, it does not empower you. It does not make you feel worthy. And being a person who's impulsive like me, um it's not a good thing. It's not, it definitely isn't. So, you know learn detachment so that you can feel empowered. Learn detachment because you want to call the shots. Learn detachment because you only live once and you want to live it to the fullest. You want to live it the way you want to, and you want to be able to say that, okay, you know, even if things don't go the right way, I am fine with it because I called it, I decided it. I don't blame the people around me. I'm not attached, my emotions are not attached to somebody. So therefore, if things go wrong, I blame myself, I learn from it, and I move on. So guys, this is my lesson for today, and hopefully it helps for those who are like me, who used to be like me, this emotional person. Detachment is the best thing you can give yourself. All right. A very happy holidays and Merry Christmas in advance, and in advance Happy New Year.